Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Jade on the Lipstick Junkie here on YouTube, and today I am back with yet another video.
Ain't made no, she made a boss. My diamond they shine when the light turned off. Rockin' designer, I'm dripping the sauce. All of my diamond real, so they call. You know it costs to live like.
So I always get the question all the time, hey Jade, I want to start my makeup kit, where do I start? Or hey Jade, you know, I want to get into makeup, not sure where to start, what do I do? How do I build my kit? All kinds of things of that nature. For my local Atlanta people, I do have a service with my booking website where you can slay like an MUA, and that's basically where you give me a budget and I build your kit for you. However, if you do not have that, or you do not have that type of money, time, and it depends on what your personal goals are, so there is like no set, you know, budget or anything, but it does just depend on you. I decided to make a video about it so that I could just answer everybody's questions in one little video instead of just copying and pasting what I said to one person to another person and having to change things. It's just so much easier this way. Okay, so jumping into the makeup industry can be pretty hard and intimidating, especially when you do not know where to start, or if you do not know what you even want to do. So in this video, I'm just going to tell you guys the tools and the products that you will need to build your kit for an everyday basic full face. So for starters, let's start out with the basics. So for an everyday full face, this is my everyday full face, but I do have like a eyeshadow full face. There are different types of full faces, but for this video we're going to cover eyes, we're going to cover face, we're going to cover skin, tools, brushes, and things of that nature. I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, but I do want to be as detailed as possible, and I do want to give you guys just an idea of how you can go about building your kit for an affordable price. And I do just want to say that this video is not sponsored. I know I say that sometimes I don't, but none of my videos like this have ever been sponsored. So yeah, I have bought everything that I'm talking about with my own coin. These are my own personal opinions, so yeah, I just thought I would let y'all know that. Okay, so the first products I'm going to talk about with eyebrows, the first one is the Wet n Wild Kohl Eyeliner Color Icon Pencil. These are 99¢ at CVS. I believe they are 99¢ at like Dollar General and Family Dollar as well, but I get mine either from CVS, Walgreens, or something like that, and they're generally 99¢. Another option from the beauty supply store is the LA Colors Auto Eyeliner, and it's a smudge proof one. Okay, I'm actually lying. I did get both of these from Dollar Tree. I always re-up and get my pencils from Dollar Tree. The prices do differ, so I do recommend you guys trying to find these products in store, and I'll state which ones I think are better to get in store or which ones are better to get online. And so for concealer for your brows, I do recommend the LA Girl Pro concealers, which is no surprise. These are the ones I always live by. I remember when they used to be 99¢. They are now like $2.99, maybe $3.99 in some places, but I do recommend those, especially if you're just starting out. You can get different colors for that affordable price. So, or you could get something like a concealer palette, or you know, it's just something of that nature. They do have affordable ones like that, like BH Cosmetics has one, I believe, and a few other websites probably have makeup palettes, but I know when I started out with LA Girl Pro, and I did just get every shade because a little bit does go a long way. I do recommend these for your concealer. Okay, so we're going to move on to eyes. So when you're starting out with makeup, it can be just a little frustrating or maybe intimidating, trying to get eyeshadow palettes. You guys, do not go out and buy expensive things. Like when I started out in makeup, I literally was always at not Sephora, I was about to say Sephora. I was always at the beauty supply store. I literally started out in the beauty supply store, worked my way up to Walmart, then from Walmart I went to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and then I went to Ulta and Sephora. And you know, if you just got money to blow, money to waste, go right ahead. But I have personally found in this business, most people that do not know what they're doing as far as makeup and in terms of makeup completely waste the makeup that they go out and buy, as opposed to starting off small and then building up and building their kits. I know a lot of people who go out and they go straight to Sephora, they go straight to Ulta, and they're buying Smashbox, Too Faced, Makeup Forever, just makeup brands that they don't necessarily have to start with. And then here you are, you know, spending so much money when you don't even know what you're doing. So try to start as small as possible. Beauty supply store has several palettes that you guys can start out with. The ones that I started out with, I of course don't have anymore, but one palette that I do have that I actually gave to my mom, and it has so much dust on it, so you guys can see what she has been doing with it. But anyway, I always give people like my friends or my family my old makeup that I don't want anymore. Of course, I sanitize it and clean it, and I don't want to lift it up too much because some of these are broken, but this is just what it looks like. So this was the BH Cosmetics 3rd edition 120 eyeshadow palette, and this is a really old palette, y'all, because they don't even make them like this no more, where they have like 2 sides. So this was the colorful side, and like I said, they don't have this anymore. I did check their website, and then this is like the darker shade side. So something like this, you guys probably can't tell, but this palette is worn and torn. I definitely had my fair share with it, and I did do a lot of looks from that palette. So a website I do recommend is BH Cosmetics if you guys want to start with something slow and get some of their palettes. Like I said, aside from the beauty supply store, I recommend BH Cosmetics. They have fun palettes like the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And the good thing about BH Cosmetics is they're always having sales. They have more sales, I feel like, than any other beauty brand I know. They're always having a sale, and it's just, you know, just easier to go ahead and snag a little palette. Like this palette right here is a 28 or 26, yeah, the 26 color eyeshadow blush and neutral palette, and I got this for $9 when they had it on sale a few months back. And I always suggest getting palettes that serve as multiple purposes. Like with this palette, these are all blushes, so just like that, you have eyeshadows and you have blushes. Why? When you're starting out, I don't want to say they had any of these, because mind you, I started doing makeup back in 2010. Like, of course they did have makeup that I didn't know about, but not that I personally saw. They didn't have many duo palettes like where you could do multiple things with highlight and blush and things of that nature. If they did, it was always like maybe a color I wasn't interested in, you know, like the shade range is sucked or whatever the case may be. But take advantage of palettes like that. Also, if you do want to, you just want to jump face first or whatever the case may be, I do recommend Juvia's Place. Their palettes aren't as expensive as like other palettes in this industry. So we have like the Warrior palette. I just bought a new Zulu palette, so we have like that's colorful, fun looks. If you're just into that though, this does not have to be a requirement. You guys don't have to get into anything like that until you're really comfortable with what you're doing and you know what you're doing. But a palette I would recommend starting off is Morphe. The Morphe line, they aren't as expensive either, and they have more neutral and basic, just everyday shades. When I started out with makeup, I started out with hella colors. I always did colors on my lid, always, like it never failed. I did not start off with just doing basic looks. I always did some type of dramatic, crazy look, looking like a clown. But hey, like I said, this was about 9-10 years ago, so that's okay. But I used to always wear blue eyeshadow, blue or gold, I always had on my lid. Also, if you guys want to get into just some single eyeshadows, like the pots, those are cool too. Like the Kiss Kiss New York Professional, they have little singles. I talked about some of this stuff in this video that I feel like I've been referring to like for a few of my videos, where I did like an affordable makeup haul. So I'll be sure to link all my affordable makeup hauls that I have done on my channel below. With the eyebrows, I don't think I explained, I recommend pencils first, because pomades can be very tricky, especially if you don't know what you're doing necessarily. They can be really, really tricky. So I say, like these eyebrows I did with the pencil. You guys probably can't even tell, but these are penciled eyebrows. But once you really get the hang of it, you can move from a pomade dip brow to whatever like it's nothing. And that's like the same thing with gel and liquid eyeliner. So I recommend something like e.l.f. eyeliner, liquid eyeliner, and they have tons of different type of brands. Maybelline, NYX, that's one I was thinking of. NYX, Milani, like, you know, just anything you can find at the beauty supply store or the drug store will really suffice. They all really typically do the same thing. Of course, once you really get into it and you grasp the concept of what you're doing, you will have preferences. There are going to be some brands that you don't like. There are going to be some products that you don't like, but that's just how it goes. So once you really know what you're doing, then that's when you can really take off and say, okay, well, I like this one better, so I'm going to get this one. But this is just a general idea. You don't necessarily have to go out and get these exact products, but I'm recommending them. And then like with this e.l.f., I think this is really good for beginners because I don't necessarily like this. Like if I'm going for a look, I'm not going to use this just because you have to go over it so many times, in my opinion, but that's because I've been doing makeup for so long. So I prefer Inglot's number 77 gel liner, which was $20. So opposed to this, that was $2. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you build it up, you're going to know what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so since we're still on the eyes, next I'm going to talk about mascara. The first one I have here is just the Maybelline Last Sensational Mascara. And a good thing about mascaras and just drugstore makeup in general, you can coupon it. And I know some of my OG subscribers are going to be like, girl, we never got that video. I was supposed to do a how to coupon makeup video. Oh damn, was that like 3 years ago now? Oh yeah, that was 2016. Yeah, I was supposed to do that video a long time ago, but here's the thing. My mom is like the queen of couponing, so I didn't really like the way the deals and stuff she was like doing. I didn't necessarily have, because like I didn't have that many points, and so I couldn't show you guys like how I would do it, like because I had my own new account. It's just a long story, but I basically had my own new little account, and I was trying to build up my points, but I never really built up my points like that, like how my mom did with her account, so I was never able to make the video. However, I'm saying all this to say you definitely could coupon makeup. You can see like which ones are on sale, especially if they have them on sale. Like Maybelline always have coupons for like $2 off, $3 off, and then especially if it's only like $7, you know what I'm saying, they might have it on sale. They might have it like, instead of it being $7.50, it might be $5. Then you have like a $2 to $3 coupon off. You're getting that for little to nothing. Even if you can find like a double pack, I'm not even sure where they sell this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I got this from a booster. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. So I'm not sure what's this, you know, I don't know. But hey, I got it. So if you can find something like this that's like a double pack, that'd be really, really good, and that'll definitely last you. So you don't even have to, you know, worry about getting any more. So something else that I really suggest when you're starting out with makeup is getting beauty supply store lashes. Sis, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Now I might have gotten a little bougie now, you know, I'm with the minks and stuff like that. These are my minks, but humble beginnings, okay? They didn't even have these like this when I first started doing makeup. You got one in each pack for 99 cents. So I say that these types of packs and this brand, or just like any type of cheap brand or any type of affordable brand, is good because you're practicing. Remember, 10 times out of 10 you're going to be messing up. You're going to be, you know, just doing all kind of stuff. So why not go with the more affordable option? You can even do something like Broadway. What's that other brand? Like is it Cherry Blossom? I think like Cherry Blossom. I'm trying to think what else. Kiss is okay. They're not the most affordable type of brand, but the beauty supply store brand lashes, period. Like any lashes up in there are really, really good for practicing. Okay, and so for glue, humble beginnings. Like I said, I started off in a beauty supply store, so I just recently stopped using hair glue like on my lashes. I still will in a second though, don't get it twisted. I don't care what you have to say. If you think that's disgusting, if you think that it's gonna rip out all my lashes, it never did. But starting out, you might not want to if you don't know what you're doing. But I never used like the Duo, the glue that came with the lashes. I never used any of that. I always used hair glue. It didn't matter if I was starting out. I don't know, because I always wore lashes. Like, I've literally been wearing lashes since like my sophomore year, I want to say, high school. Yeah, I've been wearing lashes for about 10 years. So yeah, I never did like the duo glue or like anything like that, but I did just find a new glue that I really like, and it is the super strong hold eyelash adhesive. And it's like a clear kind, and I found this at one beauty supply store called Beauty Masters for $5.99, but at my beauty supply store right by my house, I found it for like $2.99. So that's very affordable, especially when you're just now starting out. So I would suggest something like that, something that's just really affordable and that actually sticks, because that was always my problem with the other like adhesives. They never stuck. Like, it didn't matter what kind, what brand, it just did not stick. So as long as it sticks and as long as it's affordable, go for it. Okay, so now let's talk about skin prep. Skin prepping is very important. What you do up under your skin is very, very important as far as makeup, because I know I get a lot of comments all the time about my skin, but even though I've been breaking out really bad now, that's okay though, we're coming back. But I always get like questions about skin prep and stuff like that, but that's your personal preference. I don't have like a skin routine video up or anything because I'm literally trying to clear my skin right now. So, you know, when that happens, then of course I'll tell you guys what I did. But y'all asked for a skincare video a long time ago, but I didn't really have one, honestly, until like last year, maybe 2017. That was when I really had like a set ritual and routine that I did every single day. So yeah, whatever you do before is very, very important. Anything like some moisturizer, this is for like my clients with dry skin, the Pond's dry skin facial moisturizer, something like that. I personally like witch hazel and the Ambi soap. So that's just my preference though. So whatever you do before your skin is your skin prep. That is your personal preference. What works for everybody else may not work for you, and vice versa. So I was going to talk about color correcting, but I think that's more like an advanced type of item that you would add to your makeup kit. So I'm not going to talk about color correcting, but next I am going to talk about foundation. So there are so many different brands that you can get affordable foundation from, but you don't just want to go out and buy everything. When it comes to the beauty supply store, and I'm not trying to be biased or anything like that, but I never use any of their foundations like that. Like, I have one foundation that I've ever used from them, and I literally just bought it last year in 2018. So I've never really been a big foundation person with the beauty supply store. That was one thing I didn't ever really get into. I didn't really get into foundation anyway until I had moved up into the drugstore type of makeup. But like Wet n Wild, they have really good foundation, the Photo Focus, and I believe theirs is like only $4.99. You have different brands like Maybelline, you have Hard Candy. I mean, there are so many NYX. There are so many different brands in the beauty supply store where you can get foundation from. And also, I did not talk about primers. It depends on your preference, once again. So that's not really necessarily a necessity, because I know a lot of people that don't use primer at all. I've always been a primer type of person. So that's just your preference of if you want to get that or not. If you have oily skin, I highly recommend primers. I highly recommend primers, because you're gonna want like a matte primer like the Fenty Beauty, which that's about $20, so it's not as affordable. But you have like the Wet n Wild matte primer, which is really good. You have the Maybelline Baby Skin, which is an oldie but a goodie. So it just really depends. It really depends on you and your preference. Like I said, if you have oily skin, I highly recommend it. But most people that I personally know with dry skin, they are more focused on skin prep, which you should be in general, but I'm just simply saying for oily skin, I have severe oily skin, so I have to focus on skin prep and primer to get the satisfied look that I want. Okay, Okay, so another like option would be powder foundation, and that's actually where I started. I started with powder foundation. I didn't even get a liquid foundation until like 2015, and I had already been doing makeup at this point for 5 or 6 years. But that's when the whole, you know, contour highlight, that's when that really just blew up. It had already been around, but that's when it just really got crazy. So a powder is your preference, but they have like the CoverGirl Queen collection, the NYX Stay Matte Not Flat. So you have a lot of affordable options, and like I said, don't forget with the drugstore you can always use a coupon or something of that nature. Yeah, when it comes to like highlight and things of that nature, I just recommend using the same product that you use for your brows. Now you can get like a ColourPop, what am I trying to say? Oh, ColourPop concealer. They're like $5-6, and they are in Ulta now. So if you want to do something like that, they have elf. These are normally, I don't know how much these are, and then they set with a powder, but apparently not. I don't cream contour my face in the summertime. I rarely even like to cream highlight my face because my face is so oily once again. But a good option would be like the elf powder little quad. So you have the cream and the powder if you are into that. But starting out, it just really depends on you and what you are looking for and what type of like look you want to do, because you can get something like the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream contour kit, which these are only $20 at like TJMaxx, Ross, Marshall. So if you want to get a powder one, a cream one, whichever one is your preference, or maybe you don't even want to start out with contouring, because I know I have like friends now who they can do a full face but they don't contour or highlight. Like they'll just do foundation, maybe some blush, some highlight, and go on, but they don't actually highlight or like sculpt their face with contour, and that's fine. You know, it's really your preference. But yeah, I did want to say that make sure to check like your TJMaxx, your local Marshalls, your local Ross, because that is where I find a lot of name brand and high-end makeup for little to nothing. I always get my Kat Von D lightening powder, which is just a setting powder from there, and it's always $7. I get a lot of Too Faced melted lipsticks from there. I always get, they have like foundation and stuff like that. I always get my cream contours and things of that nature. I have some Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation sticks, just all kind of stuff. So be sure to check them out, because I'm going to be referencing to them throughout this video as well. Okay, so like I said, I did get my Kat Von D setting powder from there if you guys are into that. Maybelline is a very affordable one, or if you want to start out, the beauty supply store has several. They have like Kiss, they have a lot of different brands. Just depends on your preference. Once again, I'm going to keep saying that because it literally does depend on you. Airspun, just things of that nature. Just products like that that aren't that expensive. Airspun, I think it's like $5.94 or something like that. Could be wrong, but it's very affordable as well. Okay, so as far as highlighter, I would really recommend like the NYX Makeup Perfection highlighters, and this is like a trophy wife dupe. They have like a lot of different kind that you can get. You can get like those, or Maybelline. I mean, the regular brands, yeah, but like these are like $1.99, so why not, you know, invest in something like that, and they're hella pigmented. So I definitely recommend the NYX AK brand for highlight. And for blush, like I was saying earlier, that palette that I had was a blush palette as well. So yeah, why not just go ahead and knock out, you know, 2 things with one. So just like that, you have your blush and you have your different options, or you can get like the single blushes from the beauty supply store. I have a few I have this one blush called Ginger that I really love. They're like $1.99, $2.99. It just all depends on your location. Okay, so for lips, I want to recommend just a regular lip pencil. I always just use now of course I have them separated since I have advanced, but when I first started out, I used to always use my lip pencils for my eyebrows. It didn't matter what look I was doing because I didn't have any type of variety. I didn't have any type of like certain look I would go for. It would just be what I knew how to do. So if I had red hair, my brows were red, so I would just use a light brown pencil to do my brows, and that same light brown pencil would come up on my lips brown, and so I would use that as my lip liner. And so you could do the same thing, or if you just want to, you know, buy a different pencil, I mean, they're only $1, go for it, but you definitely can use them as the same thing. But for palettes, for lips, I would recommend palettes like these. This is the Nude Lips 28 lipstick palette by BH Cosmetics, and it just looks like that. So it has a lot of different colors. You can do a lot of different looks with that. I believe they have other types as well. But I got that a while ago and I caught it on sale per usual, and that has just helped me so much. That's a really good palette if you're like a makeup artist or an aspiring makeup artist, but that's really a good palette if you are trying to just do your face too. Like if you're just trying to come up and just get into makeup, that's a really good palette to have as well. Okay, so next we are going to talk about brushes. So for brushes, I will always recommend BH Cosmetics. I mean, they should just sponsor me because I'm always like just recommending them. But when I really started to get into makeup, I really leaned more towards BH Cosmetics because they just had better deals. I was a freshman like in college when I really started to get into it. Well, no, I think I was with BH Cosmetics before I went to college. I'm not sure, but I have been like just with them for a very long time. So I always recommend them because they always have brush sets and things of that nature, bags, they're always cute too. They didn't used to be this cute, but they're cute now. So that's always just a plus to have, because cases like this I always love because you can turn it into like a brush holder, and that's what I used to do when I first started. I would just unpackage them, so I would always have like brush sets like this so that I could just sit my brushes in them and sit them on like my little vanity or my table, whatever I had at the time. Okay, so that's all that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is just a video to give you guys just some insight. You do not have to go out and purchase these products that I mentioned. This is just to give you an overall idea of the different options you have, because I know how hard it can be sometimes when trying to build your kit, trying to really get into it, not knowing where to start, or maybe you don't even have the funds. So hopefully this will help someone. I know it will help the people that have reached out to me. And yeah, I plan on doing more videos like this, just makeup for beginners, to give you guys some tips, some little cheat sheets, or whatever I can do to help you guys. And just let me know if you guys have any video suggestions for this little, I guess, series that I'm doing. Y'all know I love a series, but just let me know if you guys want to see any more videos like this. If you do, be sure to recommend below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.